What if you could create more kindness in the world just by being you? Everyone has the potential to create and receive more kindness. What if kindness is more than being nice and compassionate to others? Have you ever considered what having more kindness for you could create in your life? Get ready to learn how the energy of kindness is integral to reducing stress in your life and how it can assist in healing your body. Now, here is the host of Cultivating Kindness with Karen, facilitator of healing, Karen Leslie.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you. We have our normal introduction, which you hear every week. And every week when I sit here and I'm listening away, all these thoughts are coming in. I'm like, okay, hold on. We got to wait till we can go live. So thank you for being here with me on another show of Cultivating Kindness with Karen. And if this is your first time, then yep, that's often how I may start my show with like, okay, let's see how the show rolls today. I'm excited to share this with you, even though the topic may be, well, using the word in the title, a little blah. We're going to turn that around. Here on Cultivating Kindness with Karen, it is all about kindness and how we can work with that energy really to change anything that we choose to change. The thing is, though, we have to make that choice. And before that, you need to know that you even have that choice. And this is going to be a big part of what we're going to talk about today and how we can change those days that are just like blah, or those moments where it's just like blah and I don't even want to get off the couch, to like, aha, oh, okay, cool. Like just flip it on its head. And this, when we can master this, it is such a kindness to you and everybody around you. There is something about bringing that energy of kindness into ourself, first, foremost, and truly embodying it. And then you can develop an awareness where you just sit in this energy and you just watch how it filters out and how it can change everything around you. And as a result of being kinder to you, you end up automatically being kinder to the world. And that may sound a bit far-fetched, but I think you'll get what I mean by the end of our show. So I'm thrilled to have you here with me on the Inspired Choices Network. I love showing up every week for sharing ideas, maybe challenging you a little bit on how to think about something. And I guess it's working because every week there's a whole bunch of you that show up live, and I'm grateful for you. And I'm also so grateful to those of you who listen to the replay week after week. It is heartwarming and inspiring and empowering for me to think that I may be offering that to you. So let's get into today's show, turning the blahs into aha. So I'm sure all of you have had days where you have just felt flat, right? No motivation, you don't feel like doing too much, those blahs kick in, and your enthusiasm and motivation for everything that you thought maybe you were excited about doing for your day, poof, out the window it goes, right? It can be really tough when like that wall of blahs comes in all of a sudden, and often it can be in an instant. And I'm going to explain a little bit about that as to why that might be possibly what's happening for you, because that happens for me. And when that comes in, it's just like everything around you just gets pushed away. You have no desire or excitement or incentive to want to participate in anything around you. You can often feel like, okay, that's it. My day's done. When this hits, there's nothing else I can do. And you just want to pack the day in. And sometimes that's the choice that you probably should be making. We're going to figure out how to differentiate or know when maybe you need to just ride into this and stay there, or when you need to actually say, okay, this isn't okay. I'm changing this. And you can figure that out. Even though you're feeling blah, you can still figure it out. So once you start to, accept that the blah's there, that actually gives you some choice. You have to recognize that this is what's happening. Often I have found in the past that the blahs can really just kind of sneak their way into my day. They really can. In a period of time, sometimes even more than a day, like an extended period of time can pass, and I don't even see the change that's happened in me. We have so much going on in our world right now. We have, and we have had for a long, long time. I mean, let's face it. But we've had a bit of a resurgent over the last little while. And as a result, I think a lot of people have been experiencing the blahs a little more often lately. Those of you who follow along with me, you'll hear me talk about the planets and the moon and different energetic forces that are around us all the time. And well, they have been playing havoc with a lot of us. Let me rephrase that. It's more accurate to say they have been playing havoc with all of us. It is impossible, truly, it is impossible for your body to not be aware of these changes and for there not to be some form of change or influence or response to it. It's all energy, right? Remember, it's all energy. If the moon can move the tides around the world, the moon can have an effect on our body. One of the biggest problems is we tend to ignore or deny or bury our head in the sand when the blahs come in. If you can gather some data and understand where it's coming from, where it might be originating from, you have just empowered yourself to make a change. This is one of the reasons I work with Cosmic Harmony and help people with understanding this every month for the new moons and the full moons. When you have understanding, when you have data, when you have information, you're empowering yourself. And this is what your conscious mind is craving. It is loving to find facts and knowledge and information that it can use. Now, it will always think it's using it to help you. That's greatly debatable, but it will still keep seeking it. That's what the conscious mind wants to do. And then we get things tucked down nice and deep into our subconscious mind. And here's where the automatic programming or the things come back on autopilot, which is why we can be in a blah space for days before we even realize it. And sometimes it may take another person to say, hey, everything okay? Like you just seem kind of down or you really seem kind of flat right now. What's going on? And you're going to go, am I? I hadn't really noticed. I just, yeah, the last couple of days have been so-so, but I'm okay. Or you may go, yeah, you're right. And I'm not quite sure what to do about it to get out of this. Well, by the end of our show today, I hope you will have numerous ways that you can look at to get yourself out of the blahs. Yeah. So what I want to say is the blahs get a bad rap. When we fall into that way of being, that energy, we are very quick to criticize it. And in doing so, we often criticize ourselves because we've let ourselves get into that space. Well, there's going to be times when you didn't actually, in quotes, let yourself get into that space. That energy can just arrive. Again, planetary, other things going on can do it, as well as you can walk into an environment, into a room, get onto a meeting on the computer, and it can hit. We forget how sensitive our bodies are, right? Again, they're just energy. They're energy that's moving quite slowly from different perspectives because we're solid, but we're also very fluid on the inside. And as a result, the energy is felt differently in the different areas of our body, in the cells. It's felt differently in your mitochondria than it is in other areas. And that may sound weird, or it may make a lot of sense to you as to why you feel things in different environments and in different ways. You're able to pick up on these sensations in multiple ways. It's up to you to gather that information and be able to start to distinguish as to what's going on. The walking into an environment and just feeling like something's off and then just feeling flat, that may well be your level of sensitivity. That may be because you are accustomed to feeling that way. Maybe this is a fairly large part of your day-to-day living. And when that's the case, and that was so the case for me for decades and decades and decades, easily over 30 years. I was so tuned in to that frequency, so tuned in to what that felt like, that I could pick it up from other people and environments in a nanosecond. Like, even before my conscious mind could be aware of it, it would hit. I just tuned into that radio frequency really easily. That's all it is. Doesn't mean that that's all it is to get rid of it. It can be a little more, not difficult. Take a little bit more effort and conscious thought on your part to find a different station to tune into, to find a different way of responding when you recognize that the blahs have hit. It is up to all of us to move in that direction. I hope's the right word? No, I get hope is not the right word. My desire for you today, and for those of you who are listening on the replay, is to encourage you, perhaps even inspire you to take on this task of recognizing your body more, tuning into it, being present with it, and allowing yourself to receive the information it has, because our bodies are brilliant. Problem is, this conscious mind, it gets in the way. Oh no, the mind, I know better. I got this. The body, it's for keeping your heart functioning. It's for digesting the food that you love to eat. It's for helping you walk to get to where you wish to be. The body has a very different role. Well, I challenge that. I believe the body has multiple roles, and one of them is to impart wisdom and knowledge and information to the conscious mind through our thoughts, through our awareness. When we really get a sense of that, and you really choose to work with that, you will be able to, yep, the word's manipulate. You will be able to manipulate the energies around you and within you with so much ease. Yes, there will be times when it's going to be more of a challenge for us. Yes, there will be things that happen in our life that are sudden, unexpected, and difficult. It happens to all of us. Now, fortunately, for most people, those are few and far between. And the blahs that I want to refer to today are more the ones that just come through quite easily, quite naturally, and just tone down your day and tone you down so that you are no longer in that space of enjoying what's going on. I wish to have in every single one of my days, every one of them, today and going forward, ease, flow, and fun. Now, if I desire to have ease, flow, and fun in my day, then it's up to me to recognize when that's drifted away, or if it hasn't arrived yet, or if there's a sudden shift. It's also up to me to recognize when I feel that ease, or I'm part of the flow, or I'm having fun, or just had fun doing something. Like just before I was live, I was talking with my producers, and we were laughing, and we were talking about someone in my family, and it was wonderful. I had fun. I could discount it, I could let it go, or I could recognize, yeah, that was a great way to be in that energy before coming into my show. Especially when I have a topic I want to share with you that could actually bring me flat when I tune into it. But I'm not going to let that happen because I'm aware of the changes that could be going on within my body. Think about that. We're going to go for our first break. See how aware you are, or how aware you are allowing yourself to be within your own body. And then when we come back, we're going to look at a variety of different ways and techniques to recognize what's happening. And then we will be moving in later in the show into tools that you can use to actually shift this. So don't go away. We are here on the Inspired Choices Network, as we are every week, for Cultivating Kindness with Karen. And I'm Karen Leslie, your host. Happy to hear from you all the time. You can send me an email, karen@karenleslie.ca, or you can find me on all the different social media platforms. It would be wonderful to connect with you. And if you've got any comments or ideas or questions from my shows, please let me know. I'd be happy to get in touch with you. All right, don't go away. We are going to be right back, everyone. Thank you.
We all have different experiences with and definitions of kindness. These experiences and beliefs about kindness have influenced who we are today and how we see the world. The universe is always listening. So what are you telling the universe today? Tune in to Cultivating Kindness with Karen each week as Karen guides you to understanding how each choice you are making is either keeping you stuck or opening up the energy of empowerment for you. Listen to Cultivating Kindness with Karen, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Cultivating Kindness with Karen. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. Those of you who have been listening to Cultivating Kindness with Karen for a little while, or maybe since I started, you have a sense perhaps of who I am and who I have been. You will have no sense of who I'm going to be because I don't even know that. But I have shared very openly a lot of the mental health struggles that I've had since about the age of 16. One of the reasons for today's show was a little while ago, a few weeks ago, I had just like a really blah day. And I was in it and I'm thinking, okay, I went through the tools I'm going to share with you. I went through a few different steps to look at this. And then I had the thought, oh, wow, okay, this needs to be shared. Hence the show for today. But the point that I really want to make here is we will all get days and time frames like this. I didn't have that day as a result of my history when I had all the severe, chronic depression and anxiety and all of the other aspects of my past. I had that blah day just because it was a couple of things that showed up in that moment. So I don't want to give anyone the impression that once you figure all this out, or you get past severe depression, or you get past a certain trauma or difficulty in your life, that you will never experience any blahs or down times again. That would be, I think, on my part, unfair, incorrect, and really foolish to put that idea in your head. Because from my perspective, it is not true. I am now generally a pretty happy person. I am loving so many different aspects of my life now that I didn't know I could in the past. But yeah, I had that day where, wow, I was flat. Step one was I recognized, okay, I'm really flat. I don't feel like doing anything today. I kind of have no motivation. I looked at my list of a couple of things that I had that I wanted to accomplish that day. Reading the list did not inspire me at all, because sometimes it can. You can think about what you had planned in your day and see, is one of those items something that still, makes you feel good about doing or excites you and thinks, yeah, okay, that would be good to do. And then you can do that first and see how that can shift you and your energy. And when you accomplish it, you can then go, okay, done. Well done, Karen. Okay, good. What do I feel like doing next? Or what energy is attracting me next? Where would I like to go to? So there's one of the ideas right there, is you can look at the list. Now, when I did that, I didn't get any hits at all. It was kind of like, okay, close the computer, and just wanted to kind of go and hang out on the couch. I didn't even feel like reading. And reading for me is a great way to inspire myself to want to move into another activity. All the books I read, I don't read any fiction. Every book I read is information-based, educational for me. And right now, for the last couple of years, most of them are about the brain and how it functions and how we think and stuff along those lines. And you may find those boring and think, well, okay, well, that would put me into a blah mood. It does the opposite for me. So again, it's finding what works for you. So I had this choice. Am I going to let my day just be flat? Or would I like to change it? And that's what I chose. Partly because I thought, if I'm going to share this, what are the steps I do? Because it tends to be pretty automatic for me now. I don't tend to think about it too often. So I thought, okay, slow this down and pay attention to what you're doing. Now, I didn't write any of it down. So I had to, I'm going back to that day now, to be honest, in my memory of it and seeing what I did do. This is where using your imagination to see something is really useful. And you can use this as well. So you can take yourself back to that day. I can see myself sitting here right where I am right now. I can bring that feeling back in and feel what it's like. And I can do that. I can feel that. Now, I'm not going to allow it to cause me to go flat, but I'm aware of it. And then I simply ask, okay, show me, what did I do? The first thing was I checked in and I asked, is this feeling of blah one that I am to lean into? And I got a yes. And what I mean by that is, when I lean into something, it's to go into it to gather information about it, to look at it, to give myself permission to be vulnerable and honest and really forthright with myself to understand what's happening. You can ask, okay, so is this mine? Remember, we are so amazing at picking up the energies around us, such as the example in the first segment when I said, you could walk into a room. You can even do it over the computer by entering a Zoom meeting or something like this. Walk into a coffee shop or a store. And all of a sudden you feel yourself go down because you're picking up on the energies that are present in that environment. So checking in, is it yours? I'm not going to go back into today on how to identify your yeses and your nos. I've done this in many, many shows. I don't have time today to detail this, but you need to get your yes and your no. So I got a yes that I'm to lean into this. I got a no. I got a yes when I asked, is this mine? Okay, so it was. This had come on for me, not necessarily just to be able to create a show from, and I'll get to that in just a moment, but I get these moments where the blahs, they just hit like just out of the blue instantaneously. Like just, it's crazy how fast it can hit. So lean in, explore this. What am I going to do with this? Okay, so what are my steps? Because this way of feeling or thinking can hit me out of the blue, I know to check in and ask if this is what it's related to. And you don't need to understand this right now, but in what's called human design, and I follow human design a lot, I have a specific channel in my chart that is called the channel of mutation. This won't necessarily mean anything to you, but I'm saying it from the point of view or the example of this channel will throw me into melancholy just because it just happens. It can be there for minutes. It can be there for days. And so it's to my advantage to understand, am I in a blah or a melancholy phase as a result of this channel of mutation? If I get a yes, then awesome. I know exactly how to deal with it. And I allow myself to ride through it and to be present with it. I don't go comatose on the couch and watch Netflix for days. I bring kindness into my body. Kindness to me in that time is being very aware of what does my body require to move through this with ease. And for me to not get into my head and get all anxious about it or angry about it or just any other feeling that is not going to be supportive. So what do I require? You can ask the same thing. If you're leaning in, what do you require to work through this with ease? And there's so much we can do. It really is only limited by your imagination. Are you thirsty? That's a big one. Our body is all electronics. We are an electrical being. I start my day every morning with water for my brain and for the electrical system, my nervous system in my body. I don't start with tea or coffee or any other form of drink. Water, plain water. So are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Does your body need to move? And oh my gosh, right? There is a whole category you can be looking at as to different types of movement that would make your body feel better. Like truly, is energy kind of stuck somewhere in your body? And you don't need to know energy work like I do to understand that there just may be an area in your body that's just feeling a little stiff, a little out of place. So trying different ways of moving. It can be quite aggressive if you want. You can have a hard workout. You can go and do weights. You could go for, a 10K run. You could do yoga. You could do simple stretching. You could do just a gentle walk. You could put music on and dance, right? There's so much there. It's up to you to know what works for you. And it may be trial and error. And I would really encourage you to try new things and see what works. And it's a great idea to make a list, whether it's on your phone or whether it's with pen and paper, of what works for you. Because when we get into that state of melancholy or blah, sometimes we don't think of all the different options that can be helpful. So having them written down and having somewhere where it's very easy for you to find can be super helpful. Do you need a nap? Are you so tired that you need a nap? I used to fight naps, hated naps. I associated having a nap with being unwell. And that came from my childhood with a mom who was very unwell her whole life and required to have a sleep in the afternoon. So I just associated with that. If I was to have a sleep, that meant I was unwell. So I refused it until really only like a year ago did I actually start to embrace this and see how it was a kindness to my body. I've got more for you, but we're going to go for our break. So when we get back, we're going to continue to look at different things you can do to help you come out of and also to identify what to do with that melancholy or that blah. And then we'll flip those into aha and have a much better day. So don't go away. Thanks for being here with me on the Inspired Choices Network. Again, I'm Karen Leslie, and I love having you join me every week, whether you're live or whether you are listening to me on the recordings, wherever you love to get your podcasts from. Please, please, anytime you like a show, I would love you to like it or love it on the platform you're listening to it on and share it with others. The more you do that, the more information I actually receive energetically about the shows and with ideas of what to bring forward for you. So I will continue this conversation when we get back, everyone. Hang in there. This is just a short break, and then we will carry on with turning blahs into aha.
We all have different experiences with and definitions of kindness. These experiences and beliefs about kindness have influenced who we are today and how we see the world. The universe is always listening. So what are you telling the universe today? Tune in to Cultivating Kindness with Karen each week as Karen guides you to understanding how each choice you are making is either keeping you stuck or opening up the energy of empowerment for you. Listen to Cultivating Kindness with Karen, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Cultivating Kindness with Karen. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. All right. I want to remind you right off the bat here now in our third segment that everything is meaningless until you give it meaning. What meaning are you giving when you go into the blahs? Right? As I talked about earlier in the show, you need to check in with yourself and sort of understand where this is coming from. When you do that, you will also enable yourself to come out of many of those spaces and repetitive thoughts that are very judgmental to ourselves. As simple as, here we go again. Right, another day with no motivation. Every time we repeat these things, we are reinforcing those words, those thoughts, and the energy. What if you could give the blah a different meaning, like I have done? I don't go into that space. I now look at it and go, oh, okay. And I go into question, okay, so what's going on here? That's the only way I'm going to be able to differentiate whether it's in my environment that's causing it, whether it's a thought process I'm having repetitively that those judgments are bringing me down, or is it that channel in my human design chart? It's important to me to understand, and I really hope that you can adopt a similar way of looking at it, that there is so much value in looking at what's going on and why it's there. Now, in the previous segment, I was giving some ideas as to what you can do to help yourself with coming out of that blah feeling. We talked about, moving your body and different things like that. In addition, there's other things as well. Look at your environment around you. Sometimes a simple change in the environment around you can lift up your mood. I did a whole show on with feng shui and feng shui for your thought patterns. And by just doing a little bit of decluttering around you, because energy loves to hang out in clutter. So if you have been letting your environment get cluttered or in a way that isn't a contribution to you, you may be hit by the blahs. It could take you just 10 minutes to shuffle some papers around, throw some things out in the garbage, whatever it might be. But a simple change in your environment can make a big difference in helping you move out of that energy. What you're wearing can actually bring it on or help it to move out. And that may sound really crazy. You know that I ask every day, okay, body, what would you like to wear today? And I follow what my body says. And then before my show, hey, body, what would you like to wear for the show today? And I follow what it says. I have a unique way of showing up today. Those of you who are on audio, I have a striped shirt on that's blue and yellow verging on kind of a goldenroddy kind of color, and a genuine turquoise necklace. So you know that sort of bluey green color. Would I normally put those together? No. But as soon as I put them on, I knew exactly what my body was doing for the show today. You can bring in crystals and stones, gemstones and things to help you shift as well. The energy that they bring can shift in your environment. You can physically put them on, as I've done with the necklace today. And you can wear an article of clothing or all your clothing, ones that are comfortable, that aren't bugging you. There's no tags that are annoying you. The waistband's not too tight, whatever it might be. But you can help your body with this level of kindness. But you've got to ask, right? What would your body like? Fine-tuning your environment is as powerful as fine-tuning your thought process. Often, blahs come in because we're running an old pattern, an old story that's going through our head. You have to slow your thoughts down enough so that you can catch what it is. Ask yourself, what was I thinking an hour ago? Or what was I thinking just after I woke up this morning? Again, go back in. You can do this. You can practice. You can get really good at it. You can ask, give me those thoughts again, so you can see what thoughts are there that are creating the energy, the thoughts coming through, the actual words that brought you into a blah or melancholy phase. Now you've got a brilliant opportunity to rewrite that phrase or that story. And you can go back to last week's show where I talked about revisioning what's going on with, the show is called Your Past is Always Creating. And you can get great ideas on how to rework these stories so that they don't bring you into this energy again. Will it take a little practice, a little time? Most likely. But I know you can be successful with it. And if you are struggling, then reach out. We can work together. I can coach you and help you with deeply going in a way that will bring you results. Or you can work with another professional in a different area. But you need to know first what's going on, and then you get to make that next choice. There may be some things that are a little more out of your control, such as if you have like seasonal affective disorder and you don't get enough sunshine. So you may feel like, okay, I just have SAD, as it's referred to. But then again, there's choice there too. What do you need to bring into your environment to help you, since the natural sun's not there for you at the level your body requires? There's lots of options, so check it out. When there's more chemical structures going on in the brain and some different actual conditions like that, you're going to need help from a different type of professional. What I'm suggesting to you today may offer a lot of assistance. It may not bring you to the same level of where I'm able to get myself to or as quickly, but don't discount them. Still look at bringing them into your life, because they can still be a contribution and a help along with what your other medical professionals are telling you, or along with a medication that your body works really well with. Doesn't need to be an either or, doesn't need to be mutually exclusive. Find what works for you. Learn what works for you. Yes. Before I go on to the next topic here, another thing to do is, if you are kind of enjoying being in this flatter state, maybe you just need some time out, and that's okay. A great idea, though, if that's the information you're getting, is set a time limit for it. Give yourself whatever comes to you. Maybe you only need 30 minutes. Maybe you need 4 hours. I would encourage you not to allow yourself to stay into it for days. My concern there is that the body then becomes very comfortable, very familiar with the energy, and that can help bring it forward again. But you can set a time limit. Literally on your phone, you can set your timer and have it go off. And when it goes off, follow through and do something to get yourself out of that state. Go through that list that you've been putting together that has things on it that work for you, so that you can move forward. Know what brings you fun. Know what brings you even just a little bit more of a lighthearted feeling in your body. Make a journal entry, meditate, be kind to your nervous system. These are all great ways to helping you. Follow your heart. Your only job, so to speak, that's all I'm hearing, when we are here, is to follow your heart. Your heart is an integral part in getting out of a blah moment and keeping them farther apart from each other. When you follow your heart and what you do brings a smile to your face, or lights you up slightly, or brings back a memory that makes you feel good, it is all helpful. It all moves you forward towards living your day with ease, flow, and fun. And you have the ability to make this list individual for yourself, not based on what other people are telling you. Sure, I gave you ideas. Excuse me. People will give you ideas, but you have to check it out for yourself so you know what works for you. Be honest with you. Allow yourself to feel that difference in who you are. Something's just arrived. Hold on. Give me just a sec. Okay, this is going to sound really weird. Never let a blog go by that isn't celebrated. That's what I just heard. Every time that blog comes in, it's giving you an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to learn more about your environment, to learn more about your skills, your sensitivities, your capacities. Never let one go by without celebrating it, which means dig into it, look at it, learn from it. When you come out on the other side, celebrate it. I did that. I was feeling this. Now I'm over here. Bring in those endorphins. Naturally get that feel-good feeling inside of you. There you go. There's your quote for the day. Never let a good blog go by uncelebrated. Okay, thanks, Spirit. We're going to go to a break on that one. I'm going to let you mull that over for just a moment. We have our final break here with us right now. Thank you again for being here with me on the Inspired Choices Network, here on Cultivating Kindness with Karen. And again, I'm Karen Leslie. I would love to hear from you. You can reach me through social media or send me an email, karen@karenleslie.ca, or check out my website. Super easy to remember, karenleslie.ca. Very easy to find. Okay, I need to get rid of this tickle, and we will be back just in a couple of minutes. All right, thanks, everybody.
We all have different experiences with and definitions of kindness. These experiences and beliefs about kindness have influenced who we are today and how we see the world. The universe is always listening. So what are you telling the universe today? Tune in to Cultivating Kindness with Karen each week as Karen guides you to understanding how each choice you are making is either keeping you stuck or opening up the energy of empowerment for you. Listen to Cultivating Kindness with Karen, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Cultivating Kindness with Karen. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. So, how do you feel about that line? Never let a blog go uncelebrated. That's a new one for me. And you know what? I kind of love it. I really do. If you're kind of thinking, how? Like, I don't really get how that would work, book a call with me. I'm happy to explain it in a little more detail or more personally as to what you might be going through. If you like, you can go onto my website, karenleslie.ca, and through there you can book what's called a discovery call with me. They're free, they're 30 minutes, and we can see, what I can do to help you or whether or not we would be a good match to work together. I'm not taking on, to be honest, a ton of new clients, but I do have some space for a little bit more. Or if you're interested in the moon and all these energies and want to know more about that, well, then book that same call and we can talk about that as well, because it's a brilliant program. I want to remind you, everything is meaningless until you give it meaning. This is really important, I feel, for when the blogs come through. If you want to turn it through to an aha, like finding out, this is what works for me, and I feel better and I actually want to do this now. You need to be very present and you need to understand, okay, so what energy am I actually adding to this? And is it helping to get me out of it, or is it helping me to go maybe deeper into it? It is you who decides what's going to be happening next all the time. Even when I'm in that channel energy that I mentioned earlier. Yes, it's part of me and happening, but it's not happening to me. It's a part of me. Everything is always happening for us. And with me understanding how to work with it, it is a gift. It didn't used to be. I had to do the work to figure out, okay, Where am I at and what am I going to do with this? How am I going to have this integral part of me function in a way that works for me? And you need to do the same thing. Understand your patterns. Understand why those stories are coming back. They're there for a reason. And one of the reasons is to give you information. So your mind's thinking them over and over again, and it's giving them to you just because it's familiar, it's comfortable, it's that chemical hit. You understand all of that from my past shows. However, it's also giving it to you as an opportunity for you to investigate, learn more, and then if you don't want to continue with this, how are you going to change it? Try all the ideas that I mentioned earlier in the show. Understand your patterns and your thought processes. You could even journal and see whether or not there's a cyclical or a pattern in when that blah or melancholy comes through. Sometimes it can be hormonal. It doesn't mean it's cast in stone and you can't work with it. There's lots of people you can go to for hormonal help. I am not one of those. I do the other side of things. But you can work with all of the information you gather. First, you've got to gather it. Are you willing to do that? Are you open to that? It is up to each and every one of us as to how we are going to move through our day. How do you set your day up? Do you start it from that perspective of knowing, okay, here we go again? Or do you start it from, wow, how much ease, flow, and fun can I have today? Or what can I change so that there can be ease, flow, and fun in my day? Who can I talk to? What would I like to do? What's something I've never done before that in this moment actually is intriguing, is inviting me in? Doing something new can be a great way to shift a blah. And then if you like it and you enjoyed it, and there's your like, aha, okay, this is really cool. Put it in your list as something you can go back to. Our life is full of so much information. Like it's just chock-a-block full. And that in itself might be an overwhelming statement for you. If it is, drop it, let it go. Work with what you can manage. The idea is not to overwhelm or to add too much to you. The idea is to be kind. The idea is to bring forward what it is that will be of help to you. You are the most important person in every single moment. We're going to really look at this next week when we talk about light you up first. And then the world will be lit up after you. It truly will. Just like I mentioned, when you bring that kindness into yourself, you can watch how it goes out and affects all around you. I mean, goodness me, it can affect the plants in your house. Everything is affected in a positive way when we allow that kindness to be present for ourselves. If another person doesn't display a response that you think is kind, that's on them. That's their choice to respond in that manner to their outer world. It's up to you how you choose to respond to your outer world. We have the ability to make that choice in every moment, but we tend to forget it. And if there's nothing else, excuse me, to take away as your aha today, you have the choice to create your own aha. You have the ability to do this in every moment. Seek out the information you need. Be kind to you. Keep track of it. Write it down. It helps. And know you are empowering yourself as you are going along to create ease, flow, and fun in your day, every day.
Thank you for listening to Cultivating Kindness with Karen. Karen Leslie returns Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can find Karen at KarenLeslie.ca and follow her on social media. Until next Wednesday, Karen is sending you waves of kindness for a fabulous week. Remember, it's only you who has the power to be and receive the kindness required to change your life.